Good morning, y'all. This is Dennis Connolly, your Den at the Door, and today we're here with our producer and cameraman, Laddie Chapman, to help all the folks of Door County celebrate the Dairy Week and Dairy Breakfast here in Door County. It's being held this year at the Geisel Farm outside of Valmy, close to the center of Door County. And this dairy industry in Door County is something to truly celebrate. It has to do with independence of the family. In Wisconsin, most dairy farms are family units and have been in practice here in Door County since mid-19th, late 19th century. After much of this land was cleared with timber and the industries of timbering went through. Timbering, of course, and lumbering is still prominent here in Door County, as are so many of the traditional activities. Here in the dairy farm, it's symbolic, perhaps, that this is July 3rd. We're celebrating the independence of July 4th weekend, the American celebration of independence. And truly, the dairy farm is symbolic of family independence and yet contribution to the whole, contribution to society through nutrition, through the supplying of milk and milk products, and families working together in a somewhat idyllic way that we envision America should be. Here we are. Let's celebrate with the Geisels. Wisconsin to many people means dairy and cheese and farming, and you talk to people around the world, the United States, we're even known as cheeseheads, connotating a lighter side and describing ourselves in relationship to the dairy industry. Here in Door County is no exception. The dairy industry, the dairy farms are very much alive. They're a huge part of the fiber that makes up Door County. To many visitors, it's the lake shores and the sailing and the vacation activities. But here on this July 3rd, 2010, we're seeing evidence of the importance and respect for the dairy farm of Wisconsin and of Door County. And we're seeing people showing up in throngs here to enjoy a dairy farm experience and the dairy breakfast here on the Geisel Farm, a farm that perhaps is exemplary of all that is good and well done in the Wisconsin and Door County dairy industry. It's been a beautiful day. These people are patiently anticipating, enjoying this day of sharing the farm with their children, rubbing shoulders with friends and new friends, and enjoying the beauty and the bounty of the dairy breakfast. On the Geisel Farm, we have, of course, the host and hostess of this beautiful dairy breakfast on this spotless, idyllic Wisconsin family dairy farm. We have the Geisels. We have Bernie and Shirley. Would you like to say hi to everyone?
Hello.
Good. Hello. Thank you. And you both look fine today, and I can see that all this hard work and hosting is treating you very positively.
Well, we're glad we're here today because it's been a hectic few weeks, but
it's been something we've been looking forward to a whole year, so we're ready for it.
Well, the organization that must have gone on, not only with yourselves, but all your friends and committee and fellow dairy workers and FFA people, is really admirable. Your farm has been in the family since when, Bernie?
My dad bought this farm in 1943. He left his partnership with his two brothers just a half mile down the road to the north, and then him and his wife, my mother Grace, they bought this farm and struck out on their own.
And What, besides obvious building improvements and the silos and so forth, what changes have you made to this particular farm?
Well, the silos and the barn additions and the manure system and the metal sheds. My dad built the granary in 1949.
And it's still standing well on its rock foundation.
Very well.
That's beautiful. So I know you are one of the key dairy farm families in Door County. You're very contributive to the Thresherie, which is a celebration of farm life in general, and you've taken on this incredible task of this dairy breakfast, and it's so well organized. It's so all the attendees are happy beyond belief, and people strolling on nicely done paths here, enjoying the farm materials and machinery, and families are enjoying themselves and learning about a little bit about the dairy farm.
It's wonderful, and it's when these people come up to you and thank you and say, "Oh, this is great. We look forward to this each year," and that's what makes it special and worth the work.
Well, you're such high quality people. If more of us could emulate your both family values and your hard work, we'd all be in better shape these days. So you're doing a display of antique machinery or older machinery as well.
Well, we had to pull it all out of the shed to make room for the breakfast. And
there you go. So if we pulled it out, we may as well get it started up.
Put a few miles on it, yeah.
What things would you say, how many dairy farms do you think are in Door County? Do you have any of those statistics?
I guess I can't be an authority on that. Yeah. But it's unfortunate as a lot of small farmers are giving up and going away. I think probably one of the biggest things that it's got to be very expensive with machinery and with the regulations with manure and stuff. It's kind of
certainly yes, runoff and creeks.
Yeah. But what's left up here is some very good farmers.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way, and you people are like the epitome or the finest examples that I have seen in Door County. Would you like to share any, for those of us who are not dairy farmers nor will ever be, things that may be interesting to our children to try to pursue that type of career?
Well, agriculture is it's interesting, and you always find something to do, and it's rewarding when cows fresh have calves and seeing crops grow. It's invigorating.
Yes, and surely it's obviously, besides the crops growing, your family has grown, and you have a beautiful family. Would you say the dairy farm life is contributive to those good contributions?
I think so. Our kids grew up on this farm. They learned how to work, and it's evident. These kids come home, help us out, and it's, we couldn't do it without them. This is truly a family farm, and that's what keeps us going.
Yeah. Well, we hope you keep going and going and going. We want to thank you for this interview and thank you for this beautiful day and hosting this dairy breakfast here on your wonderful farm and letting all of us enjoy or at least get a snippet of what dairy farm life is like in the most idyllic fashion. Thank you. enjoying this beautiful day at the Geisel Farm. And as you walk in, they have the display of many of Door County animals and young people as well. We have alpaca to the right, and we have some miniature horses or ponies. I'm not quite sure of the distinction. Your name, young lady?
Mackenzie Coase.
Hi, Mackenzie. Could you speak up just a tiny bit, okay? And are these your ponies or horses?
No.
No, but you were able to get in and enjoy petting them and touching them?
Yes.
How nice. What do you think about these little horses? What do you think you'd someday like to have one to take care of?
Yes.
Yes, I saw your eyes really brighten up on that. What do you think you would need to do to help take care of beautiful animals like this?
Feed it and pet it and groom it every day.
That's right. It's an everyday thing, isn't it, Mackenzie? Yes. And what would you name the little tiny, the baby horse?
Probably Coco.
Coco, because of the beautiful color?
Yes.
Wonderful. Mackenzie, I hope you enjoy this day. This is great to talk to you. Thank you.
How about little Willie? Willie Nelson. In the twilight glow I see there blue eyes cry in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again.
And we're continuing around the animal pen and seeing some beautiful animals. A lot of us don't necessarily think of a pig as a beautiful animal, but this one certainly is. Well groomed, well taken care of, and a great hairstyle. Your name, ma'am?
Rachel Sterner.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you for talking with us. And describe our beautiful little pig here and its characteristics.
She's a miniature potbelly pig, and this is as big as she'll get. She's about she's 40 pounds now, but she's a little overweight. But she lives outside. She's potty trained, and she does tricks and
Oh, my.
all kinds of stuff. So she's just a year and a half old.
Marvelous. I have read and have seen programs regarding potbelly pigs as being popular pets.
Yes.
She's getting some pineapple or apple, and I've heard people extol them as being perhaps like dogs, as intelligent as dogs.
Yes, they are. They are very, very smart.
Isn't that interesting?
Yep. She was in the house. I bottle fed her, and she was in the house for the first 6 months of her life. Well, the 6 months of her life, and she was litter trained or went outside and went with the dog and slept with the dog. So yeah.
How do the dogs relate to our potbelly pig?
Like them. They get to.
And this is beautiful. And Clara, is that correct?
Clarabelle, yeah.
Clarabelle. How did you pick the name of Clarabelle?
I don't know. She just clicked.
Yeah,
It just clicked.
yeah.
Sit, Clara.
Now, the potbelly pig, am I right, does it come from Asia?
They actually originated from England, I believe.
From
Yeah.
England, okay.
I haven't done a whole lot of research on them. Like I said, we got some pigs in, and she had babies, and I bottle fed her.
Marvelous. So how does it relate with the pigs in the barnyard?
They're all smart.
No kidding. No.
Pigs are smart.
Why don't, what a...
Clean animal. People think they're dirty.
Why do we perceive, because where a lot are kept in muddy conditions? Or?
Could be. No, these guys, my pigs don't like mud. None of my pigs. I have 4 of them.
Particular pigs.
Yes, they are. Sit down. Sit down.
So Clara will live a good life as a pet and enjoy all the amenities your pet dog would.
Yes, she will.
And a delicate question, but would it ever find its way to bacon?
No.
All right.
I have one now that I'm debating, and no, I can't do it.
All right, we'll continue that debate. Thanks for taking good care of Clara. And Clara, thanks for taking good care of us. Here we are continuing our enjoyable day at the Dairy Breakfast on the Geisel Farm. And we're finding very interesting characters around the various attractions. We're near the petting area, and we're with a very prominent Door County man. And your name, sir?
Tony Hain.
Tony, it's great to see you. And your position in Door County, it has to do with parks.
Right, I'm the Sevastopol Town Park Chairman.
Very good. And as a town park chairman, what is your behavioral function, responsibilities?
Well, obviously we take care of the Sevastopol Town Park, where we've got 3 ball fields. We've got 2 softball fields and 1 baseball field. Interesting fact, last year we had 155 ball games played at the town park between the Sevastopol Pioneer Boys and Girls, the Door County League Institute Cubs, the doubleheader Men's and Women's League, the Babe Ruth, and the Northern Door Legion baseball teams.
That's a great list to come right off the top of your head. It's even greater the occurrence and the frequency of games that go on and the great maintenance that you folks are doing with those fields.
All right, we've got 2 young gentlemen working for us on the town park this year, Ryan Brungraber and Kyle Volkman. Last year we had Kit Shortner worked with us, but he went on to a full-time career. But with that, and within the last couple of years, we've stuck almost $100,000 in the park and the ball fields, put in an irrigation system, raised the field so we could be able to play in all this rain. We only missed about a half a dozen games this past couple of weeks, and that's pretty good compared, considering we had almost 9 inches of rain.
That's a great accomplishment, and that's certainly admirable for a small government unit such as Sevastopol to be able to do that, both in engineering and get the people behind it and continue this maintenance and this activity level for the young people and some of the older people and families of Sevastopol.
Right, the cool thing about all the communities in Door County, especially Sevastopol, so many of the parents, grandparents, just people in the community volunteer, and we've got a lot of volunteers that also help at the park. And there's nothing better when you drive past the town park when you see somebody out either on the ball fields, playground equipment, tennis courts, or basketball courts. We also take care of the Clark Lake Dam. We take care of the Clark Lake Swimming Beach and also the Whitefish Bay area. Young fellows go down, clean up the garbage, they cut the lawn, make sure sand and everything is fairly clean. So it's not just the park, and we also help Chairman Zipper with putting up the signs our young fellas do. So yeah, we're pretty busy. It's a full-time job.
All of us who either visit or live here in Door County, some of the newcomers have a lot of thanks to give to people like you and the others that maintain and develop these areas for all of us to enjoy. Speaking of all of us enjoying, this is not just a generational thing. We have young people who enjoy the playground equipment and the fields as well. We have one of those people with us carefully guarding this orange balloon. And your name, sweetie?
Ashley.
Ashley, good to see you. And you're here enjoying this beautiful day?
Yep.
Good. And what do you like best about the dairy breakfast?
I don't know. I like everything.
Was it the animals, the food, or being here?
Being here.
Absolutely. Well, you're certainly an enjoyable young lady, and I'm really glad to talk with you. Hope the rest of the morning is wonderful. Tony, thank you for talking.
Thank you very much.
This beautiful fair-like activity, we have a very important part of Sevastopol and Door County, the wonderful fire department that exists here. And it's a mutually cooperative fire department. They work together and mesh like brotherhood. I'm talking with?
I'm Lieutenant Kendall.
Hello, Lieutenant Kendall. What made your mother name you lieutenant?
She wasn't aware that I was even going to pick this profession, so...
Yeah, well, she was very clever. She really had foresight, I would say, yes. And does your wife call you lieutenant?
No, she does not.
All right, well, that's fair. That's fair. Better not. Your beautiful fire truck, this is a tanker truck?
This is a combination tanker pumper, yes.
Pumper as well. And it can be, it can directly affect a fire. You have the pumper capacity?
We do. We have a 1,000-gallon minute pump on this truck with all pre-connected hoses up here. But this also holds 2,000 gallons of water for in the rural areas where we don't have fire hydrants. We bring our own water.
Yeah, in those rural areas and in areas that don't have hydrants, especially during dry seasons, wet seasons, isn't it very, very important for people to be highly judicious and maybe not get involved with outside burning in certain conditions?
Yeah, that's very true. Matter of fact, last night we had a pretty good grass fire on Lake Michigan in the tall grass, and it was just because of a simple campfire, and the wind picked up and it got away on them.
It was a very windy day yesterday.
It got real windy, yes it did. So.
And even then, as the beach grass dries, as the tree line exists with the sapping of the trees, it's a highly dangerous thing, not just for the environment, but for the homesteads and the human beings who live around there.
That's correct. It's, and one unfortunate thing there is because of the natural weeds, they're not allowed to cut them to break that fire barrier, so it goes right up to their homes.
Sure. And it can happen so quickly under windy conditions. And of course, you have a period of time it takes to get a tanker to an area.
Yeah, and typically on a grass fire, this is not the truck we would bring. We bring our grass fire trucks.
Smaller tanks.
Smaller
mobile.
tanks, more mobile, can go on the beach, stuff like that. So.
Well, this is a great service that you provide for Dora County. We're all thankful for the input and the help and the care that you give to us in our community. And Lieutenant, it's great speaking with you and meeting you.
You too. Have a good weekend.
God bless, man. And a dairy breakfast would not be a dairy breakfast without the eggs and all the fine things that we take for granted every morning that are supplied by the farms that we enjoy as part of our breakfast. Here we have eggs being prepared in a somewhat humongous, non-traditional fashion with what I would call large-ended paint scrapers. Your name, sir?
My name's Matt Savage.
Hey, Matt Savage, and you're really attacking these eggs in almost a savage sort of fashion.
Well, I do what I can to get them cooked.
You're doing it, man. And so what are we looking for here? How many eggs were in this oversized skillet to begin with?
About 20 dozen.
20 dozen, and were they pre-cracked, or did you have to crack each one?
We got them all mixed up and scrambled.
Yeah, marvelous. And so we're all working as a team. We have, how many pounds of scrambled eggs do you think this will turn into?
Oh, about 35 or so.
35 pounds of scrambled eggs, which will feed at a half pound a person, approximately, quick math, 70 people, I would bet, or more. Exactly. And here goes the cheese. Good Wisconsin cheddar cheese, I believe. And there's nothing finer than Wisconsin cheddar. Of course, Vermont wants to say they do a better job, but we know that's not the fact.
Oh, of course.
And so this is being powered by cow chips, or are we doing propane?
We're doing propane.
Marvelous. It sure smells good. So here at the Dairy Breakfast, which occurs every year, and we have this perfect day, how many people do you think will go through and enjoy this breakfast?
Oh, it's hard to say. It varies every year, but we get plenty. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, plenty is a good answer. All right. Well, looks like a beautiful job, and thanks for talking to us. Keep up the good work, guys.
All right.
And we're at Yet another station here at the Dairy Breakfast being fastidiously manned, I might say, by someone with an FFA t-shirt on, though maybe he was a graduate of FFA. Your name, sir?
Tom McCauley.
Tom, we won't slow you down. You got to keep flipping. I know it's a matter of timing, and you're an alumnus.
Yes, that's right. I'm a lifetime member of the FFA alumni. Been a lifetime member for 25 years. This is my 28th Dairy Breakfast.
Well, thank you for doing this. No wonder the expert flipping ability that I'm noticing. And now, as part of the creation of these beautiful light pancakes, you used a mop handle and you applied very skillfully to the grill a light bit of oil. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh, no, I think it's in your wrist, man. And now the batter. Can you give me the components of your batter?
Yeah, it's Krusty's pancake batter. We're able to get it through Econo Foods, and it's mixed by Nick Floor back here and Orville Miller, and they mix it to a consistency that we can pour out the pancakes the size we need.
So they're on the mixing committee every year, and that way we keep the consistency of the batter correct. Is that right?
Exactly right, Dennis.
You know, I just am an observant sort of guy. And so now what you're watching in this creation process, I'm seeing bubbling occur, which is obviously indicative of something. So tell me what this bubbling is telling you.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, Dennis. Like I said, I've been at this 25 years, and I learned from one of the best in the business. If you remember old Uncle Tom pancake mix, he provided us with pancake mix for years and years. And the secret is to get the griddle hot enough and let the heat and the bubbles come through the pancakes, and when the bubbles are through all the way like this, then it's time to start flipping. And I instruct the workers, do not push down on the pancakes. You keep the air in the pancakes to keep them light and fluffy. You only push down on hamburgers and meat. So you don't ever push down on the pancake, you just wait till the bubbles are through, flip it once, and get them off to serve.
So part of the message that people can take home is, as Tom said, never push down on a pancake after you flipped it. And that's the secret and what keeps people coming back here to this Dairy Breakfast, enjoying days like this. And I see that we're being ready. That wrist is it's up onto the tray. Here's one of the couriers of the pancakes. Your name?
Justin DeFeo.
Hey, Justin. And how many pancakes do you think you've transported today?
At least about 150.
At least 150, but who's counting? Thank you. And here we have Miss Door County doing her very best and serving up this beautiful dairy breakfast. Your name, my dear?
My name's Crystal Burke.
Crystal Burke. And what area are you from?
I'm from Door County, from Sturgeon Bay.
Sturgeon Bay, fine. And we have with you a lady who we're all familiar with, who has been instrumental in the lives of many young ladies and many pageants here in Door County. And your name?
My name is Shirley Ehlers. I'm the director of the Miss Door County pageant, and of course you've all heard how wonderful all three of our young ladies did at Miss Wisconsin this year. Marvelous. It was wonderful with Katie and Kimberly being winners and first runner-up, and Crystal won the Early Education Award, so we're proud of all three of these girls.
Not only depicts the quality of young people here in Door County and the educational system and those intangible things that we get from good family life, but also it speaks well of Shirley's coaching and directing and helping, which she's done for years, and made this pageant a wonderful place. So.
Group effort. I have a wonderful committee that works with me. I don't do this alone. I have a whole committee, and they're great. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't do as well, and we were top in the state for scholarship money again.
Right, Shirley. Let's hear it out there. Okay, so we're serving up some breakfast. Can you tell me about the activity you're doing?
Well, it's really simple. They tell me how many they want, and I put it on their plate.
Gosh, so you got the math award in high school as well?
Yep, I can count to 3.
All right, 3 is a good number, and it's actually kind of a perfect number, they say. So what have been some of the comments or expressions you've seen of the people here enjoying the dairy breakfast?
One man said, "Aren't queens supposed to be sitting and having everyone else serve them?" And I said, "Well, not this one." Yeah. And then I get a lot of comments on my crown.
Your tiara,
yes,
of course.
My tiara, so.
Yeah, not a lot of tiaras commonly worn in, around the streets and barns of Dork.
Yeah, yep. Only in Dork County are you going to find a tiara.
That's right. Tony again, and he is a man of many skills and knowledge bases. He's going to describe how this milking machine works in the Geisel's milking barn.
What you do is this here is these two little clips on here. Obviously, is run by electricity, power. You shove that into there, and then you've got where's the other? This goes into the pipeline up into here, and obviously then the unit, gets hooked up, hangs underneath the dairy cow and hooks onto her teats. And this is really a clean system because the milk is never touched by human hands. It goes travels through the pipeline into the milk house, goes right into the bulk tank. So, and it's got a strainer, a sock strainer in there, if there would be any dirt or straw or anything. So yeah, it's come a long way from when the old timers used to.
And the pail and the three-legged stool.
Pail and the three-legged stool and getting kicked and old Bossy flipping you with her tail in the face.
So basically they do some disinfection of the udder before they hook this up as well.
Oh, right. They've got like an iodine dip or different types of, dips that they dip the teats in, and then they put these on. And like I say, not saying years ago it wasn't clean, but this is a whole lot better.
So pasteurization, of course, is still key for those odd bovine living bacteria and so forth that can occur naturally.
Oh yeah, they go through about 3 different systems before it, and cleansing operations, pasteurization before it even gets to our table. So it's quite an interesting system.
People are really taking a risk for drinking unpasteurized milk, are they not, from E. coli and other contaminants?
Well, yeah, nowadays are, but when you think about it, I grew up on a farm, and all of us, it's the old saying, do you wear a bike helmet, do you eat dirt? And we drank a lot of milk, and there's nothing finer in the morning to dip that cream off the top of the bulk tank and stick on your strawberries.
Oh, my God, and you just got bigger and smarter and a better smile because of it. With one of the major contributors and workers and experts on the Geisel Farm, Wade Geisel. How's it going today, sir?
Well, things are rolling along pretty good this morning. We got nice weather and a good turnout. So.
Oh, you did it right, and you continue to do it right.
We got lucky.
Your farm is probably one of the cleanest, most fastidiously maintained I have ever seen. Obviously, it takes a lot of carefulness and attention and family cooperation.
Well, we get an awful lot of help from my family and my sisters and their families. They help us out a lot. My nephews and nieces are always willing to give a hand. So
it's a beautiful thing to see, and the one thing that I've noticed or perceive about dairy farming, it's nonstop. You can't say I'd like to take a break from this for a week.
No, just like this morning at 2 o'clock this morning, we got a cow freshing, and we like to make sure everything's rolling along okay. And this morning, got a nice little heifer calf behind us. And
so for those who aren't familiar with with bovine terms, freshening is basically starting to give birth.
Give birth to a calf, right? That's right. Yep.
That's right. A German word coming from anyway. Right. And so how involved in that freshening process are you as the herdsman?
The first signals are the cow will slack off on feed and just start fidgeting around a little bit. And once she starts laying down and progressing a little bit, we'll check and make sure the feet and the nose and everything is progressing okay, and just let her take it from there. And
so mostly it's a natural process.
We hope so. Yeah.
And so at the family or the farmer generally helps take care of that process with the mama cow. At what circumstances do you need to get a bovine midwife or vet involved?
If sometimes if they're having a little trouble, or if they're just a little tired and they want to quit halfway through, we might have to just help them along a little bit and just make sure the nose gets cleaned out and get them breathing quick as we can.
Respiration and circulation.
And the first thing after that is get them their first colostrum that they can start building up their own antibodies. Once they're out of their mother, they're pretty much defenseless until you get those antibodies in them.
The first mother's milk is real, is very important.
Yep. If without that, they're going through life on a rough start. So.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. So how many head of dairy cattle do you have?
We're milking we got a barn about 68, 70 stalls, and we got enough replacements following up behind them.
Would you say that that's an average size herd in Door County, or a large herd?
It's not a large herd. No, I think we're one of the smaller herds in Door County now.
And do you contract with then a particular co-op or a wholesale milk supplier?
Our milk goes down south through DFA, and it goes to either bottled milk or cheese.
Beautiful. We had a little explanation of your milking machines in the other room by a volunteer, Tony. And so tell us what particular characteristics, besides the beautiful organization and great personnel such as yourself, makes your farm unique?
We try and keep things organized, and I don't know, just watch out for the wellness of the cattle, I guess, is keeping things clean and just keeping them healthy, I guess. It makes it a lot easier.
Is it true that during certain seasonal changes you need to watch for certain things with dairy cattle?
You get the changes in the weather. I mean, in the spring when the dampness of the air rolls around, you got to watch the calves for airborne illnesses, coughing. You got to keep things well bedded, keep things dry. It's a lot easier to take care of 5 healthy animals than it is 1 sick one. You know, it just takes time out of your day.
And it just spreads through the herd, unfortunately.
Right. So changes in the weather are a big issue. Yeah.
Is it true also that dairy cattle throughout America particularly have gone through genetic changes for better resistance to disease and greater milk production?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, the genetics that they got now, and with sex semen right now, what they're doing with that, when you almost guaranteed a heifer calf, I mean, that's amazing stuff. Yeah.
They have, and Wisconsin is one of the key areas for the reproductive research and insemination, is it not?
That I can't really comment too much on that. I don't.
What is the average milk production of your cows per day?
We're getting about 21,000 pounds of milk per year, per animal. Yeah.
And so what does that break down? What's the average volume a day, do you think?
Right around 8,000 to 9,000 pounds of milk every other day that we're shipping.
Oh my goodness. Right. Well, we thank you for what you're doing. This is a exemplary farm, and you're a fine guy to talk to, and we're certainly all enjoying ourselves out on this Dairy Breakfast Day and this beautiful open house for the rest of us here in Sevastopol on the Geisel Farm. And
we're glad to have the community support and just the attendance of all these people that are interested in learning about the cows. There's an awful lot of questions flying around, and some are simple to answer, some aren't, but at least the interest is there in this industry.
The support is definitely turning into great admiration. Yeah. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
Do not push down on the pancake.
I'm not saying years ago it wasn't clean, but this is a whole lot better.
Never push down on a pancake.
My dad bought this farm in 1943.
We're glad we're here today.
And what would you name the baby horse?
Probably Coco.
I get a lot of comments on my crown.
Well, I grew up on a farm, and we drank a lot of milk, and there's nothing finer in the morning to dip that cream off the top of the bulk thing and stick on your strawberries.
Do not push down on the pancake.